Okay, so I'm sure that many of you have already heard that there is another animated Jurassic franchise show in the works. It will be airing on Netflix and being created by DreamWorks Animation, the same studio that created Camp Cretaceous. And of course, there's been a lot of talk around this about like speculating what exactly the show will be about. Basically, what we know so far is it's called Chaos Theory. It will be taking place in between Fallen Kingdom and Dominion, and our lead will be Darius, who will of course be grown up as we saw him at the end of Camp Cretaceous. So basically this will probably just be picking up right after Camp Cretaceous, a sequel series. And that's pretty much the fullest extent that we know. We don't really have a plot, we don't know the whole point of this. We don't know what they're going to try to accomplish. And I know that there are some people who are worried about this because it's yet another animated project for the Jurassic franchise. I know that there's a lot of people who want more live action projects, especially shows, because we haven't gotten a live action show. And one that is definitely a lot darker. Whereas with this, we can probably assume that it's going to be in the same vein as Camp Cretaceous, where yes, they will have things like human deaths, but they will be censored, off screen and things like that. They're going to be implied. And the storytelling isn't going to be too complex because it still needs to try to favor for the younger demographic. And those fears are definitely valid. I even have some of them, especially like with Camp Cretaceous as a whole. Let me just address Camp Cretaceous right now. Overall, I liked the show for the most part. I liked the first 3 seasons especially. Season 3 was absolutely incredible. I thought that was the peak of the show, and I thought that it was only up from there. But then seasons 4 and 5, you really started to lose me, especially with the Brads and the mind control chips. Okay, well, the mind control chips wouldn't have been too bad if they kind of did what was done in Dominion, where it's like they send signals to kind of herd animals. But this whole, gaming controller making them fight thing was just, it was a lot. And I know that this show was, of course, trying to appeal to a larger demographic, primarily a younger one, those who are probably growing up on the Jurassic World trilogy as we speak. But, one of my biggest problems is that there's more people who watch the Jurassic franchise and, But with all of that in mind, I still do think there's a lot of potential in a show like this. Now, if you've been around my channel and you've watched some of my Dominion videos, you probably know that I was mainly disappointed about Dominion, primarily about the fact that they didn't really utilize dinosaurs on the mainland as much as they could have and really craft a plot surrounding that rather than just going the direction that they did. And I've always wanted more stories with that. I wanted more short films or things much like Battle at Big Rock to show us how the dinosaurs are having an effect on the world. And of course, I think that this is the perfect project to show that. You have a show that's taking place right at the end of Camp Cretaceous, where, if you remember, Darius is looking outside to a Brachiosaurus, so we know exactly where we are in the timeline. And so this is a fantastic opportunity to showcase how dinosaurs are affecting governments, certain areas in the world, or especially things like the ecosystems that they are now inhabiting, completely. They're invasive species, and a lot of them are big ones at that. So they're going to have a drastic effect on the environment that they're in. And, I think that that's something that we can really take a look at with a show like this, as well as fun things like introducing new dinosaurs, new prehistoric creatures in general, now that there's a lot more people who have access to genetic technology, especially with Biosyn. Maybe look a little bit more into them and what they were doing for these last few decades, and holding out hope for maybe a Pachyrhinosaurus officially in the Jurassic franchise. That would be fun. That would be really fun. And, this is kind of just saying maybe a little bit more of a serious tone because, if you're going to be tackling things like this, there's going to be a lot of us who want to have see the effects of it on the world, and a lot of that can get a little bit more complicated and a lot really intriguing. I think that probably won't happen, but it would still be fun to see. But a name like Chaos Theory definitely does lead to the fact that we're kind of going to be paying off Ian Malcolm's words about chaos. This is the effect of that genetic technology that was introduced all the way back in the first Jurassic Park film. Something like this will definitely help flesh all of that out and give us a better look at it, and hopefully potentially expand the Jurassic lore in a meaningful way. Now, this is definitely just a video about me just rambling, my thoughts. I know I am late about this reveal. I know that there's several other people have made videos already. I'm a busy guy recently, but I did eventually get to it, so I am proud of myself for that. But be sure to let me know your guys' thoughts on this project. Do you have high hopes for it? Are you just kind of shrugging your shoulders and moving about your day, be sure to let me know. That's pretty much all I have for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have an awesome day.